Hello everybody, this is Sensei Starman and welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Monkey Island. The last time you'll recall, we managed to clear our name of all of the civil charges we were facing. Unfortunately, there's still a criminal charge of creating and dispensing the pox of LeChuck. We had hoped that Elaine would clear our name, but she somehow smelled Morgan LaFlay on us and has gone on a rampage. Which would be kind of hot if it weren't so... Oh, who am I kidding? It's still hot. Let's see if we can talk them out of this.
Morgan! What do you think you're doing?
Don't ask me! Ask your crazy wife! I'm gonna run you through, you high seas hussy!
Hey, Morgan, I think you're losing your edge.
I'll show you an edge. Whoa!
Elaine, Tucklebear! Morgan's all bark and no bite.
You want bites? You got it! And I'll throw in the bark for free! Whoa!
Ladies, please, there's plenty of Guybrush Threepwood to go around.
Well, that won't be when I'm done with ya! Get over yourself, Threepwood!
Yikes. Can't you two just work it out over a nice grogatini?
Guybrush Threepwood is buying me a drink? Over your dead body, trollop! Who are you calling trollop, Schooner Mom?
Oh boy. Elaine, you should know that Morgan and I spent a few nights together inside of a manatee.
Inside of a what? You're a dog, Guybrush Threepwood! Ah!
You two fight like girls.
We kill like them too. Arr.
Yikes.
Alright. Clearly we're not going to be able to talk our way out of this.
Okay, I'm gonna go think of something clever. Try not to kill each other while I'm away.
Arr. Yeah!
WP?
I can't talk now, Captain. I've got to protect my bottles from these banshees.
Well, here's an idea.
Yikes.
Get out of the way, you blithering hunk of man meat!
I won't be able to get any closer to the dartboard with those hell kittens in the way. A recipe for something called a Fat Island Fuzzy Nostril. Seems simple enough. The only way to drag Elaine into court is to get this voodoo summons into her hands.
Alright, well... something I'm going to check first.
How about a towel, sir?
Thanks. Whew, really needed that. Ew, what was that? Hey, what's this piece of paper stuck to my boot? It's a recipe for a drink called a Tri-Island Tuna Colada. Looks complicated. There's nothing left of this buffet but a few scraps of tofanity paste and a light ranch dressing.
Alas, alack.
Hey, Krebs!
What do you want?
You're not upset about the trial, are you?
Why would I possibly be upset by the fact that I hideously disfigured myself in a quest for long-delayed vengeance, only to have it cruelly snatched away at the last moment?
It's nice to see one female pirate in this bar isn't a fight-crazed wackadoodle.
Oh, I am. I'm just loading up on carbs before joining the fight. Doesn't pay to have a sugar drop in the middle of one of these things, you know.
Tell me, Did it hurt
Did what hurt?
when you fell out of pirate heaven?
No, but this will.
Stay away from Guybrush, you sea hog!
Yikes!
Well, that did just allow me
Just
to
what
get
I always
this.
wanted. An ant-infested sack of sugar.
And I'm putting it right in my pants. Of course, now I can't mess with the dartboard because WP...
Or,
Yikes!
would you mind steering clear of the dartboard? Now that I've found me darts, I need to practice before tomorrow night's tournament.
Well, maybe if we gave him a drink.
Can you make one of these Fat Island fuzzy nostrils?
Aye, aye, Captain.
While you're making that, I'll just...
Order up. One Fat Island fuzzy nostril, heavy on the fuzz.
That was absurdly fast.
Arr! Libations! Ah, gimme!
In case you're curious, if you don't go to use the bathroom first, Catherine will be the one responsible for clogging it.
Hey, Krebs.
What do you want?
What you gonna do with all that gold?
All what gold?
All that gold inside your chest.
Stay away from Guybrush, you sea hog!
Yikes!
And I'll let you speed walk, not run inside the tavern.
Looks complicated.
Alright. Complicated drink.
Can you make one of these?
A Tri-Island Tuna Colada? Arr, that takes me back. I haven't made one of these since I was a bosun under Captain Bo.
But can you make one? I'm really in the mood.
Aye, but it'll take some doing to scrounge up the ingredients.
Take your time.
Alright, so with that done,
I'll just put this here for safekeeping.
Done! One Tri-Island Tuna Colada. Now I can get back to me darts.
Arr! Libations! Ah, gimme!
Okay, this is really flattering, but let's calm down and talk this out like adults.
I'll be calm when LaFleur's been filleted like a fish!
Wow, Morgan, you're pretty handy with a sword.
Is that so? What else is she handy with?
Ah! Elaine, Tucklebear. Morgan's all bark and no bite.
You want bite? You got it! And I'll throw in the bark for free! Oh! Huh? Good for nothing words getting in the way of my killing.
Honey, you are formally summoned to appear before the court of Judge Grindstump in the case of the people of Flotsam versus Guybrush Threepwood, Mighty Pirate.
TM.
Phew! Now I know who wears the daddy pants in the relationship. You stay away from my boy's pants, or I'll hang you from my Jolly Roger, you Jezebel! And you! Don't think you can totter around with some tart and not get a fistful of what? She's a catch.
And conveniently not a rotten double-crosser.
I told you I had a job to do.
Sure, just doing your job. Tell me, aside from all the silver, how are the benefits?
Guybrush.
Do you get health care for the repetitive stress injuries caused by all the backstabbing and cutting off people's hands?
I said I was sorry.
Sorry? I can't pick my left nostril without risking a lobotomy.
What if
What if nothing? Goodbye, Morgan. I've got a wife to cure and an island to save.
Probably in that order.
Mrs. Threepwood. Could you give the court some idea of what a fine, upstanding pirate your husband is?
Well, let's see. When I first met him, he was breaking into my mansion to steal a statue. Later, after shanghaiing a crew to take him to Monkey Island, he totally failed to rescue me from the evil clutches of the ghost pirate LeChuck, so I had to dress up a couple of monkeys in a bridal gown.
This may have been a bad line of questioning.
Then he left me hanging over a pit while he went looking for the treasure of Big Whoop. I didn't hear from him for 3 years after that. Turned me into a bleeding statue. Left the seat up. Oh, and that's not even mentioning all the times I've found myself tied up, manacled, or otherwise incarcerated because of his blithering idiocy!
You're too good for him, love.
Shave his belly with a rusty razor.
Honey, why don't you please tell everyone how I've been trying to find a cure for the pox?
Don't you honey me, you two-timing cannon scrubber. I bet all this talk of looking for La Esponja Grande was all plot to spend time canoodling with your little privateering she's flag.
La Esponja Grande, yes, it's right over there, see?
Sure it is.
Please tell the court how this horrible pox is all LeChuck's fault.
LeChuck? That stick in the mud wouldn't know a good pox if it kicked him in the fundament. Heck, there wouldn't even be a pox if you'd gone through with the voodoo lady's recipe properly. But no, you had to wave that root beer bottle around like some sort of conquering hero. Oh, look at me! I be Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate! Next thing I know, you're trying to replace root beer with root grog and bam! Pox all over the place. Not that I'm complaining, mind you.
Okay. I'd like a second to think about my next move, Your Honor.
Make it fast! Your character witness is oozing all over my courtroom!
Your Honor, Buccaneers of Flotsam, you all believe that I, Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate, have brought this horrible pox to your shores.
Off with his
Run
head!
him off the
Feed it
plank!
to the jungle beast!
What if I were to tell you that I could tame this unruly witness, prove my good intentions, and begin the process of curing you all of this hideous voodoo pox, all in one fell swoop?
I don't know.
Feed it to the jungle beast!
Your Honor, I object. Defense is grasping at sponge-shaped straws here.
Denied! But get on with it, Captain! The hangman gets overtime if we keep him up after midnight!
With pleasure, Your Honor. Wenches and pirates, I give you Exhibit S, the wonder of La Esponja Grande.
I thought it'd be bigger.
Now behold, as a simple exfoliating motion of La Esponja Grande washes away the pox, restoring my wife to her usual, mostly pleasant demeanor.
Arrgh!
Sugar cakes?
Off with his head!
Get that piece of seaweed off me, you deep-sea doily diver!
Does the defense have any other pointless arguments it would like to make?
This is sort of all I got.
Then, by the power vested in me by the put-upon pirates of Flotsam Island, I summarily sentence you to be hanged by your pox-spreading neck until you are... right there.
What? Woof.
What is the meaning of this?
My name is LeChuck, and I can tell you exactly what Guybrush did.
LeChuck? I thought he was a ghost.
I heard he was a zombie.
Don't listen to him!
You see, Your Honor, the pox is all my fault.
Listen to him!
For decades, I dabbled in the dark forces of voodoo, clamoring for power. I hungered for it. I yearned for it. I pillaged, plundered, and killed for it.
I can attest to all of this.
And it was my accumulated voodoo that infected you all. Dark, evil voodoo that was explosively released when I was once again defeated by the perpetually heroic Guybrush Threepwood.
He's not kidding. I've killed him like 5 times.
So you see, Guybrush Threepwood is not the source of this pox. I am. And I hereby throw myself upon the mercy of this court, or lack thereof.
Off with your head!
But wait, there's more. It turns out I had an unknown silent power urging me down those darkened voodoo corridors. A power far more insidious than I could ever hope to be. I submit to the court this journal, property of the...
Quiet up there!
the Voodoo Lady.
Ooh, that creepy lady who lives in the shack?
What the what?
In these pages you will find detailed plans, laid out by the Voodoo Lady over the course of many years, to manipulate my never-ending rise to power. My hunger for voodoo, my seemingly endless cycle of ironically comical death and disturbing resurrection. My obsession with the darling Elaine. It's all because of her.
Off with her head!
To the jungle beast!
Can't be true, can it?
Order! Order! I hereby call for the release of Guybrush Threepwood and the immediate imprisonment of LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady! To the brig with both of them!
I bet it up to me eye patch with all this land-loving lollygagging. I'm off to plunder me some treasure.
Don't worry about me, my friend. Go cure your wife.
Well, I'm finally free, but now my pox-crazed wife is nowhere to be found. A mad scientist is hunting her for who knows what reason, and the legendary voodoo sponge that was supposed to cure her has turned out to be useless. Under normal circumstances, I'd ask the voodoo lady for help, but she's sitting in the jail cell next to my archenemy, who may or may not be my best friend, after it's been revealed that she has been the secret power behind most of my travails over most of my life as a pirate. Maybe I should have been a beekeeper like my Uncle Sid.
But on the bright side, we have the sponge and our ring back.
It's a good thing Elaine gave me her wedding ring. She's so poxed out now, she'd probably hawk it for a keg of grog. La Esponja Grande has turned out to be La Esponja Lamo. Good old C12H22011, just like Mama Threepwood used to make. I wonder what keeps this thing lit. I wonder whatever happened to my hand. I hope it's happy.
Well, we could talk to them, but let's check in with Stan first.
Threepwood, we must talk.
You darn Skippy.
Hello, Threepwood.
Okay, fine. We'll talk to her first. And again, I note that it doesn't quite put you on rails, but Tales from Monkey Island really defies the LucasArts philosophy that you should be able to wander around the game world, try anything, do what you want. If you get stuck on a puzzle, go someplace else. But this one, you can't even walk 10 feet away before it drags you into a conversation so they can give you the plot information.
You sent me on a wild albatross chase for La Esponja Grande and promised me it would cure the pox. But after fending off sexually ambiguous merpeople, a giant manatee, and your crazy ex-boyfriend, what do I get for my trouble? This sorry excuse for a kitchen sponge.
La Esponja.
Ah, I noticed you strategically left out the Grande from this worthless piece of junk. Once it cured my piddly leftover pox, it didn't have enough mojo left to cure Elaine.
It's not worthless. It is merely young. It must be brought to maturity in order to reach its voodoo-absorbing potential.
Brought to maturity? How am I supposed to do that? Give it a talk about the sponge birds and sponge bees?
Like all infants, La Esponja needs nourishment. It must be fed 6 special voodoo courses to bring it to adult size.
What sort of meal is that?
A feast for the senses. The menu, Threepwood. Take it. And serve the sponge a meal unlike any other.
And then?
It will grow.
Hey, neat. There's a map of the Flotsam Jungle on the cover. No more listening to bees and birds and boars for this mighty pirate. I better fold this up before I put it in my pocket.
And here's where another one of the weird glitches comes in. Of course, even deleting the files doesn't fix this, but it won't let you read what the courses are.
Well, that's odd. It's like a whole new map now.
And yeah, I originally discovered this completely by accident, trying to fold the map up.
Hey, you!
Hello, Treepwood.
You've been lying to me about LeChuck all these years.
My ways are my own, Guybrush, but rest assured I have never lied to you.
You're lying right now! All this time, I thought LeChuck was an inhuman monster. Actually, he was an inhuman monster, but only because you made him that way.
Did I? Or was I merely playing my role in a much larger play?
Stop trying to confuse me. We're tired of being puppets in your chess game.
This is no game, Treepwood.
You corrupted LeChuck and sent him out to torment me and Elaine for years. I'll never trust you again.
I don't require your trust, Treepwood. Only your heroism.
About this feast for the senses,
What would you like to know?
the first course in the feast for the senses, the napkin. What's up with that?
The table must be set with an eye-catching napkin to entice the sponge's hunger.
The antipasta? Explain.
With the table set, a powerful aroma must encourage the appetite to grow.
I think my nose has been in shock since traversing the inside of a manatee.
I'm sure you will find something.
Okay, so a song smell.
Can you tell me about the palate cleanser?
Before the main course, the palate must be scalded clean by a powerful taste.
Ooh, like grog?
No, not at all like grog.
It says here that course 4, the main course, is the sixth sense. That doesn't even make sense.
Ah, but it does. For where the other 5 senses are limited to the finite experiences of the present, the sixth sense satiates the appetite for the infinite possibilities of the future.
The future? How do I feed something the future?
You already hold the answer to that question.
What about the dessert? This is one hungry sponge.
Ah, what is your favorite thing about dessert, Guybrush?
We're running out before the check arrives?
No, it is the pleasurable shock of something different.
Ah. It says the feast for the senses ends with a bellowing belch.
Do not worry about this. If you provide La Esponja the first 5 courses, the location of the final course will undoubtedly reveal itself.
Ah, my favorite type of responsibility. The one that takes care of itself.
Alright, so...
Can you give me any more insight about the antipasta?
I can't say what exactly would be appropriate for the Feast of the Senses. Fetid sweetmeats, perhaps. Dry, aged deep within the jungle. Something of that nature.
Oh, appetizing. Palate cleanser.
Something of such grand flavor as to send the senses back to square one.
Big flavor. Got it. This sixth sense business is all pretty abstract.
You must find something that will allow the sponge to sense the future. As I said, you already possess the key to finding it.
It says here that course 4, the main course, is the
For the
the future.
you all...
Okay, got that one.
So the sponge needs a big shock for dessert.
Yes.
Alright, enough about the feast for now. I met Coronado de Cava.
My beloved. How was he?
Mad. Bipolar. Life ruined. Just another pawn sacrificed in your theater of the damned.
I never meant to cause him harm.
Sure you didn't. You've been lying to me about LeChuck all these years.
My ways are my own, Guybrush, but rest assured I have never...
You're lying, but only because you...
Did I?
Yeah, got
Stop.
that one already.
This is no...
Come on, admit it. You were manipulating Coronado.
Coronado was never touched by my voodoo. even though he sometimes begged to be.
I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing anymore, so I'll just shut up. So, when I was with Dakava, you might have felt something strange happen.
Ah, you are no doubt alluding to your brief possession of my physical form.
Ha! How did it feel to be the Manipulate Ted instead of the Manipulator for once?
It was curiously liberating.
You're weird. Yeah, try not to get executed before I cure Elaine.
As you wish.
LeChuck!
Guybrush!
I would have bet my good hand I'd never say this, but thank you.
For what? I've caused you nothing but despair.
For taking the fall back there, and for exposing the voodoo lady. I don't know what to make of any of it, but now I can focus on saving Elaine and dealing with the pox.
It is the very least I could do. But be careful, Guybrush.
I'm always careful.
This from the guy who proposed to his wife with a cursed engagement ring you stole from my hold?
Is that a dig? Is the evil demon pirate LeChuck developing a sense of humor? This is weird. Have you seen Elaine?
No, not since she left me in a poxed rage.
She's been doing a lot of that lately. So you haven't seen Elaine then?
I'm afraid not. She's quite a handful.
You're telling me. All those thwarted attempts to marry her might have been blessings in disguise, huh? Where have you been? I thought you were with Elaine.
Well, after leaving Spinner Cay, Elaine and I set out to finish releasing all those monkeys I'd captured. After we were finished releasing the last of them, Elaine caught wind of your trial, went into a poxed rage, seized a passing clam schooner, and made a beeline for Flotsam Island.
That's my girl.
Needless to say, I took my own vessel and headed after her. But in the middle of the night, my ship was sunk by a rogue wave. I was washed up on an island of cannibals, from whom I deftly escaped, using many of the self-same skills you taught me back on the Jerkbait Islands.
You know, it's amazing how easily man-eating tribes can be reasoned with.
Knowing I needed to get here more than ever, I lashed together a few bits of cannibal leftovers and warthog sinew to build a makeshift raft. Unfortunately, that was soon eaten by the sharks.
Oh no!
So I swam. I swam as fast as I could for 3 days.
And arrived just in time to save me from the gallows. Nicely done, buddy. Kudos to your swim instructor.
I was fueled by the fire of our budding friendship.
I risked life, limb, and manatee to get La Esponja Grande, and it's a puny, worthless lump.
What?
Soak up the gargantuan wonder that is La Esponja Grande.
That is La Esponja Grande? But wasn't it supposed to hold infinite amounts of voodoo?
I know. What a crock.
The size of the sponge is meaningless. It is what you do with it that matters.
Oh, yeah?
Well,
you fight like a...
I can't believe the voodoo lady has been pulling your ghostly slash demonic strings all these years.
It came as a shock to me as well. But her diary spells it all out. You, me, Elaine, we're all part of the voodoo lady's malevolent plans.
Malevolence is in the eye of the beholder, Guybrush Threepwood. I know this is difficult to understand, but things are not as they seem.
No, things seem remarkably convoluted, which is what I've come to expect from you.
I've always had your best interests at heart.
Well, what about my interests? Without your meddling, I could have lived a normal, happy pirate's life.
Ha! The destiny of LeChuck has never been normal.
The sponge is still small.
Most unfortunate.
Well, how about the mountain of ice on the roller coaster of the damned? She was behind that?
Especially that.
So, Miss Spooky Pants gave me this menu which will supposedly put more grande in my esponja.
Excellent!
You want to put some of your newfound deductive reasoning to the test and help me figure out what I need for the menu?
I'd give my beard to be able to help you, but I'm afraid my pirate mind is not fit for such things.
Which explains why after all these years you still allowed me to get within a nautical mile of you with a bottle of voodoo root beer. Got any deep thoughts about this voodoo menu?
I'm afraid I'm useless here, Guybrush.
Well,
Really, thanks again.
You don't need to thank me, my friend. I merely spoke the truth. They say that truth is the greatest barnacle scrubber, you know.
Sit tight, buddy. Once I save Elaine, you're next.
Don't worry about me.
wow, LeChuck saved us and is actually being the most noble person in the game. What a twist! Alright, well with that done, we're going to go ahead and stop for now because we're past half-hour point. But thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you are so inclined. And next time, we're finally going to talk to Stan like I wanted to before we got dragged into that conversation with the Voodoo Lady. Take care until then.